Hey guys, what's up? It's Zyflin here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to build Limbo, or what I like to call him is the homework frame, because this is the frame that I always used to play whenever I was in college. Wanted to play Warframe, but I also had to do my homework at the same time. This guy literally lets you AFK in defense missions, interception missions, mobile defense missions, so if you need to do something like your homework, or, something that just involves you not being tabbed into the game, but you also want to make progress towards farming, I don't know, relics for the latest prime frame or something like that, well then Limbo is probably your go-to guy. So I'm going to be showing you guys two different builds today. One is going to be a defense build, which has the perfect bubble size for the likes of a void defense. One is going to be for interception, and then we can also talk about alternatives like very small bubble builds, because I know a lot of people don't like playing with a Limbo in their squad because of the whole rift effect going on. Personally, don't understand that because it's not that big of a deal, but for the snowflakes out there who don't like being in Limbo's Rift, well, this is also going to be a video for you. So, the first build that I want to show you guys, this is the defense bubble build. So you can see the size of the bubble right here. If you haven't caught on already, Limbo is a defensive frame. He makes a bubble similar to Frost, except different. Basically, you use your fourth ability, and that is a little rift bubble right there, and you can go into it, and it's got a bunch of crazy effects and whatnot. You can read the effects on the ability screen, so here we go. Violent Blast of Void Energy tears open pocket of Rift Plane, which can sustain itself for a short period before collapsing in another lethal blast, so it also does a decent bit of damage too. So a bunch of crazy effects happen in there. It doesn't actually tell you what those effects are, but probably in the tips page there's probably going to be something on there. I don't want to explain it all in this video. Let's just talk about the build. But basically, you have that up and you're inside it, and whenever you're inside it, you press 2. And what happens is the enemies who are within this bubble or walk into this bubble, they're going to be frozen in place. So let's just go ahead and test that out versus some heavy gunners, right? So yeah, unpause them. I'm going to keep myself invincible because reasons. So we use our 4 and we press our 2, and those guys are completely still, right? You can whack them, you can shoot them, you can do whatever. Teammates can use their abilities in here to shoot out of it. You can't actually shoot out of the bubble or into the bubble, right? You have to be using like an ability to do that, like Excalibur's Exalted Blade or Mace's Peacemakers or something like that. But basically, this is what you do with Limbo, and this is basically like the setup that you want to be building around, right? So this bubble right here is like the perfect size of bubble for a defense mission, and if you guys don't believe that, we can jump into the orbiter, and then I can show it in the likes of Avoid Defense. Man, it feels good to get out of the simulacrum, actually. So let's just jump into like the lowest level Avoid Defense that we can. Tyrannus, why not? And you'll see that this bubble is like more or less the exact size that you want it to be for the likes of this type of defense, right? So let's just go ahead, skip on, use our spoiler mode to get over there, jump on over, and then we get on top of it. The point where you have your crosshair aimed at is going to be where the bubble is, right? So you have to actually aim it like at the pod, like so. So you get on top of it, look down at it, and then there you go. So you can see that it's not too big, it's also not too small, and this gives your teammates the freedom to run around and, shoot out of the bubble and stuff like that, and collect all the resources and kill enemies before they even get close to the bubble and all that good stuff. So, entirely up to you whether or not you want to make your bubble that size, or if you'd rather have it like massive. The benefits of having it like really big would be in the legs of an interception mission. So let's just go ahead and demonstrate that real quick as well. So this is the build that I have for this sort of balance sized bubble, right? So I've got prime continuity for the duration. Need to have a lot of duration. We're basically at the cap here. So prime continuity, Algermess's Constitution, narrow-minded for all of my duration. We've got negative range on there on the narrow-minded, so we need stretch and cunning drift to counteract that, which thankfully puts us at the perfect bubble size. Vitality for your extra health. Prime flow for more energy, because why not have bonus energy? You can swap prime flow off for literally anything else. It's up to you. You can throw on adaptation. You can throw on, an augment. It's really down to you what you throw on there. I just like having prime flow on there because, if my job is to be a defensive frame, then I want to make sure that I have enough energy left over to cast my bubble whenever I need to cast my bubble in case shit goes down, right? So that's why Prime Flow is on there for me. Energy Siphon can be swapped for Crucible Projection or anything else. It's really down to you. And then that is pretty much it for that build. So moving on to the next build here. We've got 214% range, a lot less power, strength, duration, and efficiency basically stay the same. So Augur Reach is on here, Narrow-Minded, Overextended, Stretch, Streamline for efficiency, Augur Message for duration, Constitution, Prime Continuity for our duration, and that is pretty much that. That's the builds. So if we go ahead and we jump into the likes of an, not an Exterminate mission, but an Interception mission, let's just do the lowest level one that there is available. Where are we at? What's it called again? Gaia? Yeah, Gaia. We jump in here, and you'll see that having a bigger bubble in the likes of an Interception mission, in my opinion at least, is a lot more beneficial because you can just, you know, basically trap enemies as soon as they spawn in, right? And you can potentially hold down 2 points just with one frame. So you imagine if you had a full squad of Limbos playing in a Interception mission, right? You have one massive bubble like so, and then, well, this one more or less covers 2, you know, but you'd have everybody running this build on Limbo. You'd have one bubble on each. Like, the entire map would be locked down. The enemies will not be moving. The only instance where an enemy is going to break out of this Limbo bubble or this this build is if they're a nullifier, right? So, you know, Limbo is pretty broken whenever it comes to Interception because, like, the duration on my abilities is pretty insane. The size of this bubble is pretty insane. Honestly, pretty surprised he's not nerfed. You know, because, like, you can literally AFK with him. I'm not saying that they should nerf him, but I'm just surprised that they haven't yet. You know? It's just surprised that they haven't yet. So, he is the ultimate AFK frame for people who just want to, you know, do their homework and play Warframe, or I don't know, do their taxes and play Warframe, anything like that in the background, having it in windowed borderless and playing Interception, defense, maybe mobile defense, even Excavation. You know, I would use that big bubble build. I would use that in Excavation as well. Pair that with a Necros or something, and then something that can just murder a ton of enemies like that. That's like your dream team right there. So Limbo makes a lot of the beginner content, or not even beginner content, just like your average farming content, really trivial, you know? So moving on to our config B, for the people who for some reason want a really small bubble, we'll put together a build for you now. So obviously you want to have your Narrow-Minded on there because that is what is going to give you the biggest hit to your range. You want to have on your Prime Continuity. If I can go on the right polarity, and there's your Prime Continuity. You want as much duration on as possible because that just makes sense, honestly, because that's what you're using Limbo for, to protect something. So if you want on as much duration as you can is just the big brain play here. So what am I missing out? On Prime Continuity, Augur Message, Constitution, Narrow-Minded, that's our max. We've got a range 34%. Then we throw on the likes of our Vitality, which is a D polarity that can go wherever. And then we've got room to throw on the likes of Streamline, a dash polarity. And then realistically, we can do whatever we want. If I wanted to throw on more range, I definitely could. So the range of my bubble for my first build is 94%. This one is all the way down to 34. So maybe if we experiment with stretch, let me see. What does that take us up to? So that takes us up to 79. So maybe if 79%, like if the 34% is too small, you can throw on stretch on this build to, you know, have a little bit more range on there, which is honestly, what I would recommend you would do, because having at least a little bit of range on there is bound to be beneficial, at least in some way, shape, or form. And then you got the slot right here, which you can do whatever you want. Now, me being boring me, I'll go ahead and offer on Prime Flow, and you know, that's pretty much it. You've got your Exo slot free as well. And if I were to go ahead and I throw you on Cunning Drift, for example, then, you know, we would be pretty much back with this exact same build, you know? So Stretch and Cunning Drift are basically all you want to be removing there. If you want to have a middle ground between the 34% and the 79%, then Cunning Drift would be the way to go. And then you still have a slot free to throw anything on here, right? So you got basically 50% duration, or not duration, 50% range with this build right here. So it's honestly down to you what you want to throw on at that point. But like, I haven't find myself in a scenario where I've said to myself, damn, I wish I brought a smaller Limbo bubble. I think this build is going to be for a very, very niche audience who just really don't like being in a lobby with Limbo. I don't know why my voice is messing up right now, but yeah, not a build I would recommend using. But if you've got a friend who really wants to play with you and really can't bear you playing as Limbo with a bigger bubble, well, then this would be the build that you want to go for. So, yeah, I'm going to end this video before my throat dies. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you like it. Dislike it if you dislike it. Subscribe for more Warframe content. And use this Limbo build. This one's the better one. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.